It's said to twist off
Yeah.
or use can opener.
You want me to?
Yeah. Smells awful, I think. Smells awful. Welcome to Mouse Cheers.
Cheers. Ugh. So
What the hell?
So the drink of choice today
You know what it tastes like?
is a white birch soda.
Oh, you know what it tastes like?
Jeez.
Do you know what it tastes like? I'm about to ruin your day.
Don't, because I have to finish it before the end of the podcast.
All right. I'll
Don't,
wait.
and tell us what it tastes like
I'll
at
wait.
the end.
Okay.
Good to see you, John. Wait, hold on. No, hold on.
What?
You can at least say, let's rate it out of 1 to 5, 0 to 5, right?
0 to 5.
So we'll quickly do our drink ratings, and then we'll get started. So please, it's just 0 to 5, and then at the end of the podcast, you can say what it tastes
Okay.
like. Oh, Jesus.
So here's the thing. I'm going to give it a 1. And here's why. Because, I don't know what you like and what you don't like, so I don't want to kill your day. But there's 2 things it reminds me of.
Oh, boy.
And I will save the one that I think is worse for last.
Okay.
Can I say one?
Please.
There's a root beer vibe when you first sip it.
You're right. There is.
Yeah.
And I like root beer.
Okay, so can I say the other thing then?
Yes.
Okay, there's a root beer vibe as soon as you sip it, and at first, if you roll back the tape, roll it back,
Roll them back.
you can see me think about whether I liked it or not, and then the aftertaste. So there's a root beer.
I can't place the aftertaste.
There's a root beer vibe.
Let me take one more big sip
Okay.
before you say it.
Yeah. He's like, let me finish this real quick. Right. Okay. Root beer vibes when you first taste it.
There is.
And then it melds itself into scope,
Oh my God.
like a mouthwash.
John, you're absolutely right.
Am I right? Dude, it's like root beerish, and then there's this aftertaste that makes me feel like I just gargled mouthwash. Enjoy. All right.
That's a 1 out of 5 round across the board.
Across the board.
My
And the
mic
only
is
reason
hot.
there's a 1, gives it that star is because, I like root beer. In fact, I would sit here and probably finish a glass bottle of root beer.
Yeah.
So that gives it the 1 star. Otherwise, all bad.
And just
White birch, terrible.
This
and
is
I don't even like soda.
This is a Fox and Park White Birch caffeine-free soda. 1 out of 5.
Yeah,
John, how are you today?
I'm. I was better before. I'm okay now. How are you?
John, I'm doing great. I got to tell you, I've been excited to tell you. I recently tried bone-in fish.
Bone-in fish. What kind of fish?
I want to say it was a fish I've had before. It was, I want to say it was like a haddock or it's just it was a mild fish.
Okay, because you know how you'll have a salmon or something, and there'll be these little fish bones, like that. Whoever prepared the fish didn't do it well, so they have fish bones. You're not supposed to find those in your salmon,
Right.
so or your what do you call them? Your mahi or your halibut or whatever.
Uh-huh.
When you said bone-in fish, I'm like, oh, somebody didn't cook your fish right. But you're talking there's a skeleton of a fish,
There's
and
a
you ate a
skeleton
fish.
of a fish, absolutely.
So let me ask, wait, hold on. Where did you eat it?
I went over a coworker's house.
Okay.
And her husband, it was a big cook, and he does fish of all
Okay.
kinds. and he did a bone-in fish.
Okay, good. Because so it probably was good fish, like fresh fish, and then anything with a bone in has better flavor than anything without a bone.
Mm-hmm.
Just try a chicken wing and a chicken tender, you know.
Right, exactly.
How was it?
The fish was very good.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed it. As far as eating it that way, very difficult. Have you had a bone-in fish before?
Nope.
It's very difficult.
Couldn't imagine.
It's very
Because it's not the same as like a chicken thigh or something.
It's a skill you have to learn quickly that I did not learn.
Yeah. Like the first time I had a lobster at a restaurant, I had to like Google how to eat it.
Exactly. So this is very much along the same lines of
You just got to be careful.
you got to be too careful. Like you need to know how to eat it, or like you're gonna take a bite every 3 minutes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was something I wouldn't do again. I like not
Wouldn't.
purely because of the inconvenience.
Okay. You don't feel you'd be better next time at it?
No,
No.
no, I don't.
Fair enough.
So I just wanted to tell you that, and I hope one day you can try a bone-in fish and we can compare our notes.
If there is a trustful source, yeah, I know. Ooh, just think root beer. If there's a trustful source, because
Oh, I'm thinking of Scope.
we were just talking upstairs about, like, I'm so disappointed in restaurants recently. First of all, prices have gone up, quality's gone down, and that's just because of inflation. But you get these mom and pop places, and the people who are passionate, people who are knowledgeable about cooking,
Absolutely,
that you get really good food from.
of course.
And outside of that, I don't even have the want to go out to eat anymore.
Me and you, 100%,
Yeah.
John. So I used to very much be, because growing up, you go out to eat when it's a kind of a rarity because, you can't always afford it or whatever. But now I would much prefer almost every time have a home-cooked meal
100%.
than go out somewhere.
And that's literally the flip side of like how I used to feel.
Oh, exactly. And so you can look at it a few ways, right? Obviously, you can control what you have and how it's cooked at home, which is better.
And hone your skill.
Hone your skills, which is always better. And then looking at the restaurant, even if you like a particular thing, there's no guarantee you're going to get the same quality.
Oh, God, no.
Like that you did the week before.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a gamble, even if you like the thing.
Yeah. And I'll look at an item on a menu sometimes, and I'll be like, ooh, that sounds really good. And then I'll remember where I am and be like, I'm not going to get that.
Right. So, and it's particularly tough for this time of year because what's just around the corner? It's Valentine's Day. Am I right?
He's right.
So what this is people go out, they make their reservations. It's a time to go out.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what I'm going to throw in. Maybe make a home-cooked meal.
Yeah.
Put a little effort in. Get a nice vase with the flour. Put it right in the middle.
Yeah. I did that with HelloFresh. Sounds like we're about to go into a sponsor thing. No, we don't have enough.
But if you'd like to sponsor us,
I made a HelloFresh Valentine's meal last year. I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before. Because when you have kids, time goes by. Peppercorn. Crush that in a bag. Like put the peppercorn steak. Freaking delicious. What's a pan-fried asparagus? It was so damn good.
Good.
And then there was like a little appetizer too and a dessert. So it was like a 3-course meal.
Ugh, I'm making a mess.
Through Hello.
Good.
You drink every drop of that.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about Disney couples, right? Since Valentine's Day
It's a good
is
segue,
here.
by the way, the OT. And we didn't plan that. That's
No,
a good segue.
it's the skill I hone.
Hone your skill. So there it
hone
is.
the skills. I hone the skills by doing the podcast.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, you want to talk about some of our favorites, least favorites, just like kind of an overview on couples?
Yeah, I just want to throw it out there. This is the month of love.
Love is in the air.
Love is in the air, not the soda bottles. Okay?
Dude.
No.
Real bad.
So
you might want to you're getting ready for that date, maybe get some Scope. Don't get that.
Nah. So. Or if you do get this, make sure there's some Alka-Seltzer around.
Yeah.
Right?
He's gonna be popping a couple of Tums or
antacids.
Yeah.
So let me just throw a couple out there.
What is birch?
Birch is a
Makes
wood.
me feel like it's a tree. Like comes off of a tree.
Birch is a wood, and I don't know how. There's nothing birch about. If there's something
Why is
birch
it
about
clear?
this, John. If there's something birch about this, then there's something birch about root beer and Scope.
So, well, let me. Isn't there like a Birch's root beer? Isn't there like a company? Hold on.
Well, the root beers are A&W, Barrel.
And,
no, it's not Birch,
is it? If it's Birch, that'd be amazing.
Oh, man, root beer brands. So we got. Hold on.
No, because
it's
Barks. It's Barks.
Yeah, it's Barks.
But there's a Birch beer.
There's a ball. You're right.
There's a Birch beer.
You're right. Oh, Mug is. So let me just quickly go over the root beer brands. IBC, Balls.
Balls?
Not like bouncing, but like BAWLS. That's Balls, right?
Balls, yeah.
Death Valley root beer, Mug root beer.
I think Mug's where it's at. I don't know.
You got the Bulldog root beer. Barrel, A&W.
I think.
Come on, I'm not even seeing those.
I think Barks is where it's at. To be honest,
that's a lot of root beer. I like a ball. Wait, hold on.
Slow up, everybody.
Hold on. Okay.
Oh, IBC. I think IBC is where it's at.
This is what you mean by Barks.
Oh yeah, no.
Look at this. Hold on. Look at what I'm looking at.
I think this what I. Oh.
Hold on, John. I need you to look at what I'm looking at.
That's me.
Because
Target.
Let me tell you something.
I keep going in the Target app.
Man.
Look at. That's what's me.
Good for you, John. But, where is it? No. Now it's gone. No way. Nope. Okay, look.
Pixar didn't happen.
No, look. This is the picture I just showed you of Barks. It's just a picture of Barks root beer. Look, it says Balls.
Did Barks used to be Balls?
I don't know, John.
This is our special root beer episode for Valentine's Day.
So,
sponsored by Balls. All right. So anyway.
So let me just throw a couple out there.
Yeah.
Let me throw a couple out there. You tell me your thoughts. You tell me your feelings. Okay?
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Incredible.
They're fine.
They're fine. They're
in love. They're good.
They're in love. They're superheroes. They're parents. They're a power team.
They're incredible. Yeah, but they put work first. Let's be honest. They endanger their kids a little. So this isn't a parents thing; it's a couples thing, and they are very much in love. But they do put work first. I say they're fine.
Let's okay. So, is it proper? Because they have the fate of the world on their hands. Is it proper to put work first in that situation? Nah, son.
Yeah, it's proper. But that doesn't make them the best couple ever. Maybe not on their own fault, because again, they're clearly in love. But I think that, if we're talking strictly like couples and like the power of love and all that stuff, I think there's other elements that are getting in the way there that may be out of their hands. Yeah. So
okay. Well, tell me a better couple then. Throw one my way. Dazzle me.
I would say.
Pretend you're trying to wow me like we're on a first date. Dazzle me right now.
All right. I'll dazzle you. You ready for this?
Don't make me walk out. I'll dine and dash.
Robin Hood and Maid Marian. Here's why. Who else dresses in a costume to fight for the Maid Marian?
It's romantic.
It's romantic.
It's romance.
It's romance. And yes, he's a thief, but doing stuff for the good. They're already in love. There's a connection. There's a chemistry.
There's a spark, a twinkle, if you will.
It's there, and come on, Robin Hood and Maid Marian. I mean, it's classic.
Oh, it is classic, let me tell you.
So I will go there. I almost went Aladdin and Jasmine because, he
lied to her. He put on a ruse.
Okay.
Because she was the prize to be won. Nah.
Hold on. Okay.
You wouldn't have dazzled me there. I would have dined and dashed.
You're right. I was thinking. All right, let's go over the reasons Aladdin is a terrible boyfriend. The fact that so I was going to originally bring it up because Aladdin and Jasmine were going against the odds. Like, Jasmine had to marry a prince, and he went and became a prince and all that stuff, but he wasn't really a prince. That wish was weird, but you know what I mean? Like, that's why I was originally going to say it, because they were fighting against the odds. I didn't want them together. However, he kind of sucks.
She kind of sucks, too, because she only showed a little bit of interest when she first saw the magic carpet. That's a gold digging. That's a gold digger right there.
Not true. Because she had chemistry with Aladdin at the beginning. When he saved her.
She didn't know it was Aladdin at that time. You're right. When
it was just Aladdin. She didn't know anything about him. She just met him. He saved her.
I mean, so at the time of the magic carpet, all she saw was Prince Ali. Until he said,
right.
Do you trust me?
She didn't like Prince Ali at first. But then when he started showing that he was a little different, yeah, you're right.
Till she saw the magic carpet.
Yeah,
Let's
you're right.
Not beat around the bush.
However, you can say what you will there. She's obviously very apprehensive about princes because she's met a bunch and they all were terrible. She met a lowly street rat and had instant chemistry with him.
I respect that.
So I gotta respectfully disagree with you there because Aladdin actively sucks because he lies. You're right. He just lies. And I was going to totally bring him up as like a good couple, but you're right. It's a bad couple.
It's a bad couple, right?
Because, yes, he has an arc and he learns, but man, what's he thinking? Mm-hmm. What's he doing? He's lying like big time. Mm-hmm. And even when he gets caught in the lie, he tries to like keep lying.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah. Like she brings up Abu and he's like, oh no, oh darn, well I dress as a commoner, I really am a prince, just pretty bad stuff. Okay, yeah. Aladdin is the thumbs down there. So Mr. and Mr. Incredible are looking pretty good compared to Aladdin and Jasmine.
Yeah,
Maid Marian and Robin Hood, I think are on the up and up.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Well, let me throw another couple at you. Hercules and Meg.
Waiting for you to bring it up.
I have to say it.
He's got to talk about Herc.
I have to say it. You know me. You know how I like Hercules. If you don't know, roll back the tapes.
So she also was lying to Hercules.
She was in a different circumstance, though. She was... Literally, her life was on the line at this point. She had to lie. There was no options.
Right. Not even her life, her whole soul.
The soul.
Like it belonged to Hades.
Which is not good.
Not great. But I do think, I almost brought up, hey, let's talk about love songs, today. Maybe we'll do that next Valentine's Day. But one of the best, just Meg singing out, I Won't Say I'm in Love. That is classic. That is her character. That is excellent.
That is Alan Menken at his finest.
Like super good.
Mm-hmm.
The Renaissance year, Alan Menken, man, he was on top of the world.
He was unstoppable.
I wonder how much royalties he gets today for any time. Like he must get. I'm serious. He must get like theme park revenue every year. He must get a cut of the profits every year.
I believe
they
it.
use his songs.
Of course. Yeah.
This guy. He like made the feels for Disney. He did.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, I really like Hercules and Meg.
Mm-hmm.
I do. She lied, but I do agree with you. It was for a reason that was a little bit out of her control. And then she ended up sacrificing herself for Herc and really just redeeming her overall character to him. I think she was always fine, you know. And to be honest, she sacrificed herself in the first place for her ex,
right,
who ended up going off.
Yep.
You know?
She's a good person that was hurt and is now skeptical, fighting for her life right now.
Yes.
Yep.
And then Herc subsequently, sacrificed his godhood to be with her. So.
Yep. This is a power couple right here.
I agree. I didn't think. See, talking it out, you get your opinions evolve.
Mm-hmm.
Because at first I was like, oh, well, she lied, and at first I thought Aladdin and Jasmine were classic.
Mm-hmm.
They're not.
Nah.
In fact, I'd be hard pressed to find a worse couple. Let's see.
Well, let's see.
Yeah.
Let's put this to the test. Let's go with. I guess you can't count them as a couple. Hold on. I was gonna say Esmeralda and
Quasi.
Yeah,
but they're not. Yeah,
but not.
It's Esmeralda and Phoebus, really.
But even them, right? Are they?
Yeah.
they're not.
Well, they are at the end. So you don't really see too much. Well, they kiss and stuff right in front of Quasi.
Esmeralda's an a-hole. That is not a happy ending to me. That is not a happy ending to me.
No, I mean, it's happier than the book.
The book is tragic. But that is not a happy ending still.
Here's this. Any couple who makes out in front of the third guy looking in, that's rude.
That's rude. And especially when the third guy risks everything for you.
I know. But from a movie perspective, I'm glad Disney went there and they didn't follow that trope of like the good guy just always gets the girl. They kept it realistic, like she ain't going for him.
So, in the midst of keeping it realistic, out spawns a terrible relationship.
Yeah, I don't think they're great. What about Lady and the Tramp? Because as you know, he won't such a good influence at first.
And it's tough because what's the first thing you think of when you think Lady and the Tramp? You think
the classic scene.
Spaghetti, give her the meatball and whatnot. But if you dig deeper, well, hold up now.
Yeah, well, I think yes, hold up. He brings out the wild in her a little bit, and then she domesticates him a little bit.
But that shows that you need a little bit of both, so they really complement each other. That's a good couple right there.
It's a good couple.
That's a good couple.
See, we talk it through. We talk it through. It's a good couple with an iconic scene that many people recreate.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I just wish that and people recreate it in front of because you could eat on the balcony at Tony's in Magic Kingdom, and you can recreate that.
Mm-hmm.
They just got to recreate the menu at Tony's. Am I right?
Let me tell you. Although I would eat at Tony's before I drank some white birch.
Absolutely. 1 out of 5. Is it still a 1 out of 5, or is it going down?
It's like a 0.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
So let me.
You know what's funny? It looks like you're half done, but you're not.
I'm not.
The top is thinner.
Yeah, it's
so you have more than
deceiving.
half. Yeah.
Don't love that. Let me throw an interesting one at you, and tell me if you appreciate where I'm coming from. Ray and Angeline.
I appreciate it. I can't call them a good couple. I can, because one of them is an inanimate object. However, yes, it's a show of a naive sweetness, and it kind of like keeps his spirit going,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, it's a nice song, and I think that it's a nice sentiment, but I don't know if I could take it seriously as a couple. I suppose that's what I got to say about that. What do you say?
Well, I know from the outside looking in.
That's from Princess and the Frog, by the way.
Princess and the Frog, yeah, and Angeline is a star in the sky.
And Ray is a firefly.
Firefly. But you see at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, you see he becomes a star too. So who's to say that she wasn't once a firefly?
Right.
You know what I mean? So even after, let's say that is the case, even after the passing of his significant other, he's still so true. He's still so in love. He's to the point of bragging almost that that's my girl. She's up there.
So wait a minute. Do you think that it could possibly be that he had a significant other that died and he thought that was her? And then when he ended up dying, he showed up there? Is that where you're getting at?
Yeah.
That it's possible that could be? Mm-hmm. If that's the case, that's a great couple.
Because what happened at the end of Princess and the Frog, right next to Angeline, another star came.
Yeah.
That's Ray.
Okay, thinking about it like that, we talk it out. Mm-hmm. I think that constitutes as good. That's like a good couple, right? Yeah. Yeah. You can't really talk about, something like that without bringing up Carl and Ellie from Up.
That is a classic example of going through good times, going through bad times, still coming out on the end.
Yeah.
Not being able to do everything you dreamed of in life, but it doesn't matter because you had each other.
Right.
That's a good couple.
Yeah. And even after her passing at the beginning of the movie, he still spoke to her, as if she was there, and like it's very real, Mm-hmm. I think it's, in very much in the same vein, mm-hmm. but more relatable because it's people. But you know what I mean. So, all right, so good couples.
Yeah, good couple. A good couple. Let me throw another good couple at you, and I think you're gonna like where I'm coming from with this.
All right.
We got Bernard, we got Bianca.
Oh, yeah.
Rescuers and Rescuers Down Under.
Yeah, Bernard and Bianca. So at first, he liked her and wanted to ask her out and all that stuff. And then in Rescuers Down Under, he wanted to marry her and then spent the time. I think that trope, while it didn't work so hot in Frozen 2 with Kristoff, like trying to propose and it kept failing.
I didn't like that.
I think it was done well in Rescuers Down Under.
Mm-hmm.
I keep going on and on and on. And I think we did our top favorite. No, we ranked the Renaissance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember where Rescuers Down Under fell. I can look it up. I'm just saying the more I think about Rescuers Down Under, the higher it gets because it's like a perfect movie. I
love Rescuers
There's
Down
no
Under.
Downside to it, in my opinion. In fact, we just watched. I just watched Doctor Strangelove, the Stanley Kubrick movie, and you had seen it.
Yeah.
And what the guy, not the guy who plays Strangelove and the president and stuff,
mm-hmm.
but the other guy who's like talking a lot in the room,
mm-hmm.
is George C. Scott, and he plays
mm-hmm.
Percival C. McLeach.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
I have a love-hate relationship with George C. Scott because he's done some good work, but he's also done some pretty poor work.
Oh, this holds up. This holds up. Rescuers Down Under was number 2 behind Hunchback.
Holds up.
So yeah, I was gonna say it's my second fave probably, and it holds up.
There we go. There we go. The Mouse Cheers boys. We our information. Our opinions don't change.
Well, okay.
Yeah. So
okay. So what's your opinion on? So you got these prince and princess relationships that come about. So you got Snow White and the prince that don't really know each other till the end. He kisses her and she wakes up. It's it's a classic fantasy fairy tale.
It's a classic fantasy fairy tale.
I wouldn't call them a good couple.
Yeah.
But it's classic. It's fantasy. You know, that's why anybody who dogs on, well, I didn't know each other and stuff like, yeah, got it. It's complete fantasy. You know, and I love it for that.
Yeah.
But kind of similar with Sleeping Beauty and Prince Philip. A little more character development there, but it's the same kind of thing. He kisses her and then she's up and, you know, everything's good. Still pure fantasy. So I wouldn't constitute that as bad, but it's more of like a generalized painting of the fantasy of love, you know, or wanting to find love. But then you go a step beyond that with The Little Mermaid, and you have Ariel and Eric, and again, more character development there. And I'll continue this, but I forgot Cinderella. But actually, I want to talk about Cinderella alone. But
we'll talk about
Ariel and Eric, where she wants to be part of his world, and she sees him and falls in love with the idea of him and the idea of humans, and then they do gradually fall in love without even talking, without her talking. So I think that's again more of a fantastical portrayal of like wanting to find love, but I think it's probably done best there. There, I don't know. I think my favorite of those three are Snow White, to be honest with you. But yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know exactly where you're coming from, and I agree with everything you said. And Ariel and Eric are probably the best examples since they've spent the most amount of time together. We have a little bit more to go off of on there. A fair couple, not a power couple, though, is how I'll end that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think, unless you had something, just and I did leave Cinderella for her last, not on purpose, but like you got Snow White. Snow White is the better movie, I think, but you got Snow White, you got Sleeping Beauty, and you got Little Mermaid, but then you have Cinderella, who it's a fantastical portrait of wanting to find love, because you have this girl who is literally down in the absolute dumps, a slave for her step family, sneaks her way to the ball with a little bit of help from the godmother, meets the prince, instant love at first sight. They dance, they have an amazing night, and then she has to go, and now she's a mystery to him, and he searches the kingdom for her and finally finds her, even though she's locked up by the stepmother. That is the best way to paint that fantastical love fantasy, in my opinion. I think that was done the best there.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if we're looking at it in a relationship sense, there's more positive than negative. There's more drive than neglect.
Yeah.
There's more passion than there is any other synonym or antonym to the word passionate. The want is there, the chase is there, the problem is there, gets overcome. That's a relationship.
Yeah, agreed. So those are all. I'd categorize each of those as good couples, but not in the same way as like a Hercules and Meg or something like that, or a Carl and Ellie or something. So.
How about those Dalmatians? How about...
hold on.
What?
Did we talk... Okay, I'm sorry. We talked about Bernard and Bianca for like a minute, then we popped out, but we're good on them, right? We talked about them? Because we talked about the trope of the proposal and stuff like that.
At the end of the day, Bernard is head over heels for Bianca.
Yeah, and he steps up in a way that you don't expect in Rescuers Down Under.
Absolutely. And Bianca, though you don't see that kind of obsession, let's call it, because Bernard is very taken with Bianca. There's still that sense of no fear,
No fear.
No fear. I'm with you.
Oh yeah, there's
Don't worry.
loyalty. She's
Loyalty.
true.
Yeah.
She's true to him, even with that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Jake.
Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with him, there's no, let him be who he is. He's trying to hit on me, but no. You don't know Bernard. He will never give up. He will like even when Jake had doubts, because Jake was like the obvious. His name is Jake, right?
Yes.
He had. So sorry if his name is not Jake, but he had,
Let us know in the comments what his name is.
we're not going to look it up. Let us know. Even when he doubted Bernard, Bianca's like, no, I know him. I wanted to give a little more to them before we move on to the puppies, but they're an excellent couple. I love them. They're some of my favorites.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So, the puppy.
Now, how about them Dalmatians?
Dalmatians are good, real good.
The Pongo,
I would say. No, you go, please.
No, Pongo and what's her name?
Perdita.
Perdita.
Yeah.
Pongo and Perdita. These are two characters that work together. They overcome problems together. They care. They care.
So,
yeah.
I have them on my second as in the Disney parents list.
Yeah.
I was going to say I think they're better parents than they are a couple. I think they're a great couple, but they're better parents.
And if you want to see our list of great Disney parents, roll back to tapes. We did an episode previously.
Yes, indeed.
In detail. I see where you're coming from. Because, yeah, they are more parental than they are...
like loving couple, but they're a team. They're a great team.
They're a great team, which at the end of the day, isn't that what you want your relationship to be?
Yeah, no, I think we check them off as a great couple.
Great couple.
Yeah. But I think like they shine as parents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh boy, yeah. Yeah. So that's a good way of putting it. So that's what we'll say for them. I like that.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So we got.
This is an interesting one. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings.
Yeah.
Wally and Eve?
No, I think that's great. There's a naivety there again because they're robots. But I think it's real sweet. It's one of those like it's really sweet and innocent and naive and that's almost a pure. There's so many different kinds of relationships portrayed in these movies. And I don't think that makes them a bad couple at all. I think it's a good couple, even though it's like robots and it's just like cute and innocent and sweet. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I think that has a lot of merit.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. At the beginning of the meeting, there definitely was a disdain there, or maybe a fear or anything. But when is there not?
But when is there not? Such as when you go to Mulan, where you have, she almost dies at his hand when...
pretty brutal.
Shang, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Finds out that she's a woman in the army. He needs to kill her because the penalty is death for that. Which, by the way, I never got. In the song, it's like, you're unsuited for the rage of war. Pack up, go home. You're through. Mulan should have just gone home. Then her father'd be off the hook, and she'd be off the hook. Everything's fine. But I think at that point, she wanted to prove something to herself.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
That is a fix-all.
Yeah. We need a Mulan episode because it's the live-action one, too.
I haven't seen that.
It sucks for you. You have to watch it. I didn't mind it at all. I thought I was pleasantly... I think a lot of people hate on the Disney live-action remakes, and that's fine. But I enjoyed it okay. Ariel didn't like it, but I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
So yeah. But then so that where he was supposed to kill her, and then he ended up trusting her and all that stuff. They're a fine couple. I don't think I'm not crazy about them. But then you look at like Simba and Nala, how much there is there, where they grew up friends. She comes to find him, or she finds him by accident after Scar takes over as king, and they get mad at each other because she's like, get your ass over there and become the king. And he's like, no, you know, Hakuna Matata. She's like, what? You know?
Yeah.
So there's depth there. And so when they end up together, you see, it's something I love about The Lion King is the fact that it's such it's like an 88-minute movie, but it's to the point where like so much that time is utilized. Good job. That time is utilized. Yeah, real nice.
No.
One of the best.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jeez. How many sips did you take out of the goddamn soda?
2 sips.
Okay.
But she the time is utilized so well in that movie that so much happens. There's so much depth of character that when the big payoff happens at the end and they end up together, it all makes so much sense and it means a lot because you're invested in the characters.
I
think they're a great couple too.
No, absolutely. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
100% great couple.
Yeah.
Great way that the couple was shown on the big screen as well. In the writing, really, I suppose you can say. What is I am drawing a blank on in Monsters Inc. Mike Wazowski and
let's just call her Smoochy Poo.
Smoochy Poo.
Hold on, Celia.
Yeah. Mike Wazowski and Celia.
Yeah.
Now that's a dysfunctional relationship right there.
Yeah.
Change my mind.
Well, okay.
You can't.
She's very clingy and a little bit she's very cautious. So the second he says something like, "Oh, I'd love to go tonight," she immediately is like, "What do you? I don't understand. What do you mean?" Like, so she's very like that. I think that once she sees that he was telling the truth about Randall and stuff like that, she then gets on his side. I think they're a decent couple. I think they're okay.
They were a couple well into the beginning of the movie, suggesting that before the movie had started, they had previously, been romantic.
Right. They were already together. So
so why are we at this stage in the relationship but still like this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that it's all right to have relationships have their quirks, and I do see what you're saying. What I think is Mike and Celia are at a point in their relationship where they've been dating, they started exclusively dating, and they're maybe like 2-3 months new. That's what I think. I don't think they're years old dating. Right. Because there's still an uncertainty and like a walking on eggshells aspect to it.
Right.
And I think it's funny to have, a character voiced by Billy Crystal be in that spot in a relationship. They just chose to do that. Yeah. I think that's funny. So, couple-wise, maybe not the best, but, they're starting out.
They're starting out, and you know what? We just got to pour some water on that flower. Let it blossom.
Yeah. Okay, so I know that there's more. What do you think of Tarzan and Jane? Because I was about to ask, like, what's your favorite, what's your least favorite, but I know there's a few more.
They're a good couple.
Yeah.
There's clearly a barrier between them, but
because one speaks gorilla.
One speaks, the G, but the fact that they can work through this seems to be a strong foundation of a relationship.
Yeah, one of them steps down.
There is a step down, but
like instead of living in like England.
But you know what? You haven't seen me for 20 years, okay? You are exactly where you are now. You're doing well. You're doing well in life. Mm-hmm. You come meet me. John, you're not going to believe this. Come with me. We hop a plane. All right? I start talking to these monkeys. You're like, what is happening? But I'm like, John, come here. Now, honestly, think about this for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
We are now living amongst these monkeys. No problems, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the things you can't avoid, the bugs, the ticks, the rain. There's an obvious
I have my
step
answer.
down.
Yeah.
There's an obvious step down.
This whole time I had my answer. The answer is I'd come right back home.
Yeah. In my head, I was like, I can make this work. But
the
no.
bugs, the ticks, the rain.
Yeah, the
real bad.
scalding heat.
Yeah,
No.
the wildlife.
The wildlife that aren't the gorillas. You can't talk to anything other than the gorillas, can you? No, he can talk to elephants and whatnot. Let me tell you something. Right now.
He wasn't able to talk to friggin' Sabor.
And that is more of a problem than the elephants were.
Yes. The elephants didn't even help.
So honestly, elephants are bad people.
I think the elephants weren't there, but yeah, I don't think the elephants were going to help either. So.
You want to talk about bad parents? How about
freaking Kerchak?
How about?
I think he's my number one horse.
No. Well, yes, but what's the
what's
the elephant's name?
The elephant in Tarzan?
In Tarzan.
Tantor.
Tantor. You want to talk about bad parents? Tantor's mother was a bad mom.
Yeah, that's true.
It's fine, dear. Come in the water. Nah, Ma. There's something in the water. Can't you see I'm talking?
Yeah, I know. She was awful.
Terrible, Ma.
And then they all just like stampeded, almost killed a bunch of people.
Almost killed a bunch of people.
Like Tantor's mom was in that stampede.
Yeah.
Like just running shit over.
Honestly, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd go back to England too. That's a dysfunctional relationship. No. They have a strong base. There is a clear step down. But
yeah, but it's almost again, we're going into like fantasy territory where it's like a classic story of like girl falls in love with ape man, classic.
That is classic.
All right, so we got a segue here to Beauty and the Beast.
I think it's a great couple. Outstanding couple. I think they're great together because you know what? Any bad thing that came from that relationship was from. Do you have an opposing view? Is that why you're laughing?
I'm laughing at that meme. That's like, Belle didn't know that he could turn into a human. She was perfectly ready to go as is.
Yeah. So, aside from some problems she has.
Yeah.
Okay. I do have to say, any problem within that relationship strictly comes from the pain and suffering of past years that the Beast had not yet come to let go of. But once he was like, oh, hey, she's down to clown with the Beast, okay? Then he was like, let me start, acting a little bit more appropriate. And, and he did so. Saving her life and whatnot, sacrificing himself.
She's like, damn. Nah, he didn't sacrifice himself. He got stabbed. He took on a fight with Gaston, which any beast would take on a human and probably win. So I don't know how much he was sacrificing. Then Gaston stabbed him in the back.
Okay, you're right. And she did leave him for her father, which, is that appropriate? Is that appropriate? Would you leave Ariel for Dad?
No. What? Wait a minute. Her dad was dying. Yeah, I'd step out the house for a while.
Okay, so then it's appropriate.
Well, she didn't know that it was time sensitive. That's not on her.
That isn't.
It's on the
right.
Beast for not saying. No, I'm thinking of the live action. Never mind. Remember they had that book that they could travel anywhere instantly in the world?
Oh, yeah.
She could have just... Okay, we'll have a Beauty and the Beast episode.
We'll bookmark it, save it.
You try to fix things, but you make them worse. But anyway, you try to like...
You're preaching.
Anyway,
to the choir right now.
Yeah.
Ah, boy, let me tell you. So where do we stand on them?
I don't think they're great.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think they're great.
They're not great.
Like, it's a great story, but I don't think they're a great couple.
Again, fairy tale again, you know.
Fantasy.
No. You know what? I stand by it. I think they're a good couple. I stand by it. Because ultimately, anything that is a problem are basic human feelings that are actually problems in actual relationships. Anger, depression.
Yeah.
Sick family members. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
This is a good couple. Rocky road ahead. Will they make it?
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Yeah.
But a good couple.
Okay.
For what they are.
Yeah. I don't agree, but it's fine. It's fine.
All
right. Are we? What's your favorite couple?
I think Bernard and Bianca are a good one.
Yeah, I agree. Pocahontas and John Smith.
That's a no-go for me.
No.
That's a no-go for me, good sir.
No, that's not good.
Who's your favorite?
You know, I didn't come in here wanting to say Maid Marian and Robin Hood, but something about them is like, that's classic. I don't know.
There's
it's like
something about it.
It's like literature. It's classic. It's a classic romance.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, something about the characters speak to me. So I might go them just as a default.
You know, and I love it because you know what? And there's a lot we missed, but at the end of the day, we're talking about the idea of a relationship that requires work, love, and passion, honesty, all these key components to make it work. And do we see some of these components in almost every case? Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And nothing about trying in a relationship is bad.
True.
With that, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. And we'll go into this a little more, I think. Is it safe to say that both our least favorites are what was the bad one? Oh, Aladdin and Jasmine.
Aladdin and Jasmine are probably the least favorites.
That's fine. So yeah. So we'll probably go into some of this a little more, kind of like, we talked about the water parks, but then later we did a versus for the water park. Yeah, we talk about things at length.
Absolutely. So. This is just you highlight the lovely holiday that is upon us right now.
Yeah.
And if you like our content, liking, subscribing, commenting, these things go a long way. So please hit that subscribe button. Follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and all those fun things.
Yeah.
But John, I had a good time here today with you.
So did I. It was a great time.
Right? Yeah. And hopefully you have a lovely Valentine's Day. And with that being said,
I'll finish this off camera.
I'll cheers to that.
As will I.
I'm out.
I'm not.
Cheers.